Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For everyone working with these amazing AI tools, these low-code, no-code tools such as Cursor, Replit, Lovable, N8N as you see here, everyone knows how amazing they are, until you've hit the biggest roadblock. That is connecting APIs and working with the API interfaces. If you ever struggled with setting up API connections, trust me, you're not alone. Especially if you're somebody new to the game or you don't have a very tech-heavy background, these APIs can seem very daunting. This video is aimed to show you the quick, easy way to plug in your nodes, access your credentials, and set up your API connections successfully. So if you find any value from this video or like it at all, please like and subscribe or throw a comment down there if you didn't agree with something. You can totally go through the N8N documentation if you'd like regarding APIs and connections and doom scroll through all of this, but if you're like me, you don't want to do that. You can even search specific APIs or credentials that you're trying to connect specifically. But that's not why you're here. If you've ever been stuck at square one on N8N or any of the other no-code tools, I'm going to be building this video for you, and I will be segmenting in specific parts that you'll be able to go back to this video and have a specific guideline to watch how to set up specific tools. In this video, I'm going to be going over the entire Google Suite, Google Drive, Google Docs, Gmail, all of them. Also, I'm going to be connecting databases, Supabase, Airtable, and then some of the LLMs that are commonly used with N8N, such as Anthropic, DeepSeek, and OpenAI. So let's get right into plugging in. As you can see, I have a blank N8N environment here. No workflows, no credentials, and I'm on the credentials tab. And let's go ahead and add our first credential. I'm going to be starting off with Google Drive. You can start off with any of the Google products if you're working specifically on one, but just know it's kind of a blanketed setup, and I will also be walking through how to set up some of the other ones. It's a very easy process once you get your initial Google connection set up correctly. So we're going to click continue. It'll prompt you here. Quickest way to go through this is you go to this open docs. That will bring you to the scary N8N documentation. But don't worry, we're not going to be going into it. It's just the quickest way to go to it. So it says create a Google Cloud account. I already have one. Most of you all do. If you don't, it's a very quick, simple process. And then I'm going to be going to the console. So once here, I can click on this, and I'm going to create a new project. My new project is going to be called N8N and create. And this new project is created, and you can see once you see this up here on the left that you are in this specific project. And click this menu. We are going to be working in the APIs and services. We need to go first to OAuth consent screen, and then once you get to the overview, you'll see get started. Let's go ahead and go right in there. App name, you can name this whatever you want, and put your support email in there. Here it'll ask you if it's internal or external. Click external, and this says available only to a test user with a Google account. That is correct. Contact, you put another email in here, and finish and continue. Create. Once you're on here, go to your clients, and you will need to create OAuth client ID. This will be web application. You can save this as web application 1, and this is authorized redirect URIs. This is where you'll need to go back to N8N and click this to copy, add URI, and create. And this will create your client ID. You can see it in here. When you click into here, you can see your client ID, copy that, paste it, and then your secret. And y'all can go ahead and steal that if you want to. I'm going to be deleting it after the video, but just so you have it. Okay, save, but we are not done. So don't go ahead and click sign in with Google, as it will not work. You need to set up the rest of your API environment. So go to audience, see it's testing, and you're set to external. You can add test users, add an email, save. And then you need to go to data access. This will give you the scope of what this API connection will be able to have access to. This seems daunting. This will be a lot of the access that this API will have. I'm going to give this API access to everything that I have. You can select specific ones if you know what you're doing. I'm going to leave it at this for now. And then go down to the bottom and save. Let's go back to credentials, sign in. It'll prompt you here, continue. I'm going to select all and continue. And then connection is successful. Okay, so now you think you're good, you're done. However, you're not. You need to go back to the Google console and go back to APIs and services. You need to give it actual access to the specific applications that you're going to be using. You need to go up here and you can search for your specific application that you're going to be using. So we go to Google Drive, it'll be Google Drive API, And you'll see right here, you need to enable this. And you can see right here, it is enabled because the click off would be disabled. And you can go through every one of your specific applications that you will need to be using. So you can go to Google Docs API, enable, if you're using Google Docs, obviously. And you can do the same for every single one that you're using. Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Sheets, you get the point. And that is how you successfully set up Google connection. You obviously will need to set up a specific credential for each Google application that you're using. So this says Google Drive account. You'll need to go in and set up a Google Sheets or any other credential that you're looking to set up. So to show you those other connections and other Google flows, let's just jump right in and start from here. Make it a little bit easier to see. You can get right here and you can just do Google. Let's do Google Docs. Create a document. And we're going to go into create new credential. So this is basically the same screen that you've seen on the other pages, but it's within here. Auth 2, client ID, and client secret. You'll go back and you will want to get your same client ID and your secret. Paste those. And there you go. You see that it's connected successfully. So you can do this blanketed kind of setup and make sure you enable the correct applications that you're using on the enable API. So that is going in searching enable Google Drive, Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Calendar, whatever you're using, make sure you enable that specific API route. So let's keep on going down the list. I'm going to delete this and we are going to add another credential. Go to some of the LLMs. Let's go to OpenAI, continue, and there's your API key there. Then go to platform, OpenAI. Let's just go and get into API keys. You can create a new key, N8N test, select a project, default, and create secret key. Copy this and back to your N8N. Connection tested successfully. Same thing with Anthropic. Go to continue. And then you'll need to go to console.anthropic and you can go to get API keys, create a key, select default here, name your key, N8N test, add. Go ahead, copy key, we're going back, and we're saving. Then you get connection added successfully. Go ahead, delete this. Now we can get into the databases, which most of you, depending on your background, may or may not be comfortable with, but this is what this video is for. So once again, if you are finding any value here, like, subscribe, comment. Go to Supabase API, and you'll see you'll be prompted for a host and then a service role secret. So for this, obviously you'll need a Supabase account. You can go to Supabase under home and project settings. And you can see your database here and database API. So if you don't have a Supabase account, that's totally fine. Sign up with your GitHub and you will have a pre-made project in there and you can go through here and you can see service secret role. And then here's your host URL right there. And so these credentials will be used to set up a Supabase vector store RAG database. If you're looking to use some Postgres with Supabase, this will be a little bit different for you. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video about that. I can set that up pretty easily as well. Okay, for this next one, let's just go ahead and jump into a workflow just to make things a little bit easier and kind of switch it up. So this next one, we're just going to be connecting Airtable. If you're unfamiliar with Supabase or Airtable, if you use one or the other one, let me know in the comments. I don't know which one's your favorite. So let's go in here, delete this, add first step, and let's take an Airtable node here on Airtable event. So with some of the databases like Supabase or Airtable, a lot of these connections can get pretty custom or intricate, but what I'm showing you here is pretty general and broad just to connect it. And we'll need to create a new credential here. So create access token, jump over to Airtable, go to Airtable, create new tokens, and let's give it a name. Let's on the par with this video, add scopes. I'm going to select all, and then add your database create token. Then you can copy your token here, go back into workflow, create new credential, and this is where that token will go. Remember to have access token selected, and voila, there you go. So, like I mentioned before, there are a ton of different ways that you can connect databases such as Supabase or Airtable, and you could go through hours of endless reading of the documentation, Airtable, and the curls within it. So this was just a general kind of point in the direction. So hopefully this gave you some sort of direction on where to go and where to find things. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. Hopefully it made your life a little bit easier. Don't forget to smash the like button and like and subscribe.